Okay. All right. I have to stop and start screen share again. Can you see me? Okay. So last week, I hope you all get to see the last week topics. Let's get there. Okay. So here, last week we worked on secure cell. Okay. What that means is connecting from one server to another server. Okay. And we saw how it's been done. Connect to any server directly with root ID is a security violation. So you don't do that. What you do is you connect using a user ID. Okay, that is what the application is going to do. Also, is going to do connecting application ID. So let's move on. Um, Connect using user ID. Okay, in this case, what we did is we used ZMPT. All right, give me 1 minute here. So before I continue, any questions regarding this? And you all are aware what servers you guys each got, right? So all you have to do is go onto the server website and click server list, and this is where your servers are. Okay, I think uh, Autumn, I didn't give you the server yet. What you could do is for now, you could use one of my server here, 10.1.10.128.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, so let me minimize this here. So once you log into the server, what you have to do is we'll set up a password list now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect from one server to another server. So next time we connect, it will not ask you us for the password here. So the topic is called passwordless SSH. Okay, so let's understand what this means here. Okay, so when you are connecting from one server to another server, for example, you are connecting here, right? So let me bring up my list of my servers here. If I go in here, I'm connecting to 10.1.10.123, right? So if I copy that, I would do SSH, everything is in lowercase, SSH and ZMPT at, and the IP address, correct? And then you hit enter. It is asking for the password. Okay, if you're connecting for the first time, it may ask you yes or no question over here. So you just type yes and then put in the password Red Hat, REDHAT. Okay, and you could continue. So the next time you connect, it will just ask for the password here. But I'm going to do Control C to cancel this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up passwordless. So for that, type SSH hyphen keygen. Okay, this is the command to create the passwordless keys. And then hit enter. Okay, and then you see enter the file in which you want to save the key. Okay, it's giving you the option here, but if you want to use the default option, just hit enter. Okay, for me, it's giving you this answer here. If it gives you, if you want to override, just type yes. Okay, so just continue on. And you should get like enter paraphrase, passphrase. So there, hit enter. Okay, it will ask you for enter passphrase again, hit enter again. Okay, so what it has done is it has created a unique fingerprint. Okay, so let's take a look here. This part I'm gonna remove because I'm not. And here, this part, hit enter. Now, if you notice closely here, let me make some space here. Okay, later on, I'll explain you even more. Your identification has been saved. It has saved to this directory here. So can somebody tell me if a file or a directory that starts with a dot, if you look closely, this is dot. If a file or directory that starts with dot, what does it mean?
Hidden file.
Hidden file, very good. It's a hidden directory, okay? So a key like this need to be hidden here from the plain sight. It's not entirely hidden, but hidden in the sense so that even as an administrator, you don't accidentally delete it, okay? Generates private key. And down here, Okay, look in the name, id.rsa. Okay, and then the second ID is called id.public. So this is a public key, and if it doesn't mention private, that means it's a private. Okay, so this is public key and another one is private key. So in cryptographic realm, you have a public key and a private key. Okay, so let's go in the directory here. So we already in that halfway through the directory here. So go to cd.ssh and then let's clear the screen and do ls-l a. And if you notice, you have two new keys created today, January 11th, RSA ID and RSA public ID. Okay, these are very important for the passwordless to work here. So let me just put this down here. Informational. CD, then it's already in your path. CD space, then dot SSH.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Okay, nobody's asking you. Yeah.
It's just added dot SSH. Yes.
No, do PDW.
And it says home commit dot /.sh.
Yeah, do ls-l there. You see the two new keys with the today's date stamp in there?
I two, yes.
All right, so those are the keys that were generated by the command SSH keygen. Okay, now what we're gonna do is now pick your first server. Your first server is, which one is your first server here? Let's take a look. Mine is 10.1.10.123.
10.1.10.
Okay, so copy that. Okay, okay, this is careful here. So over here, type SSH, okay, hyphen, copy, hyphen ID. Okay, and then paste that IP address. So what this command is going to do is going to copy the public key to the other server, which is going to guarantee the handshake. Okay, and hit enter. Okay, so it did series of things in the background here. So what it did was
Asking me that yes, no question. Are you sure you want to continue connecting?
okay, so but it's asking for the password.
Yeah.
Can you share your screen? No, I don't see it yet. Are you sharing it? Let me stop mine. Okay, now Okay, are you connecting this for the first time? You know what? Cancel that. Cancel that.
Oh, that's then.
Yeah. Control C. Um, you know what? I think hold on. I did an error on my side here. Actually, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to be adding ZMPT in the front. I'm gonna cancel myself too. So what you do is um SSH copy ID ZMPT at. Type ZMPT at and then the IP address. And then hit enter. So a bunch of things come up like this here. If it's gonna come up, same thing again, yes or no, go ahead and type yes.
Yeah, ask me again.
Yeah,
I was asking for password.
now the password is red hat, so just type red hat.
Number of keys added 1.
Good. That means and down on the bottom it says now try logging into the machine with this command and check to make sure only key you wanted were added. Okay, so let me copy this part. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna clear the screen. And then the only thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just type SSH ZMPT at and the IP address, okay? I don't have anything else in there. I'll hit enter. Okay, now look closely here. I'm into that server, but I was not stopped and asked for the password. Did you guys notice that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, this happens here. You wonder why is it asking Linux environment is so secure, but how come you're going in without asking the password here? Because yeah, we already authenticated it and the application needs that key. Usually Oracle, or if you have any other application which is running across other systems here, right? If you have a key in the script, you're connecting from one server to another server and going back and forth, you could put that password in the script, but it is not desirable. If somebody gets hold of a script, they could get to see the password here. So what are you gonna do? You come up with this idea here. So this is this is used quite extensively, especially you are working with Ansible and you are working across multiple servers. Just imagine we have only one server, two server, three server, right? Each time you're putting in the password, it's already getting hassled here. Imagine you have to sit there and put in a password for like 100 servers. You can't do that. You can't be wasting time like that. So that is where this thing comes in. So in the assignment, I will give you guys to set up passwordless bidirectional in all directions. So if you go back to the original server doing SSH from here, it will ask you for the password here. So you have to set up SSH keygen again. So I'm gonna leave that there. I'm not sharing my screen.
You are, we can see it.
Can you see now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, okay. So let's see here. And it if you look at the host name, it tells you the host name also, or the IP address.
Top line says activate the web console. What is that?
So those things are, there is like another central system that looks at all these servers, so we're not worried about that now. Honestly speaking, we are not using it. Many places I worked at, they're not using that. I think if there is an environment which is most dominated by Windows environment, and only few Linux servers are there that they may be using to manage Linux servers. Yeah, but there is something option is there, but most of the time it's not being used. Now, what you do is I want to make some point here. So go back to that. Go back to the starting server again. Then go to .ssh, and then do ls-l again, and then you you do cat authorize keys, right? Okay, and now let's exit and go back to the first server here. And in here, you do cat ls-l and do okay, so which key is that? Cat RSA, cat ID underscore RSA dot public, okay? Cat that file. And take a closer look, okay? These two files should be identical. And it is. So why is it identical? This is a fingerprint with copy. Using the SSH copy ID command, it copies it and it keeps the fingerprint on the other side here. So it's just like think if you're trying to access a door and the door has a fingerprint reader. So before you could use that door, or a good example of your iPhone. Remember, iPhone used to have a fingerprint reader. Yeah, so the fingerprint reader, before you use, you have to set it up for the first time. That's what we did. We set it up for the first time, and you try to go in the next time, it's not going to ask you for the password.
Yeah, I cannot see those files. When I'm running that cat
Oh.
command, it's saying no such file or directory.
Do PWD.
PMP.
Okay, then go to cd.ssh. Once you're in the .ssh directory, do ls-l, and then you should see a file name authorized keys.
Authorized keys, yes. Cat. Yeah.
Okay. Now come exit there and come back to your starting server. And then go into .cd.ssh and then cat. Now this time around, remember the destination host, the key is sitting in authorized keys, but from the source host, that key is ID underscore RSA dot public key. So the fingerprint from the source server goes and sits into the authorized keys server onto the destination server.
I think I'm out of that server.
Yeah, but you cat it, right? Look up, scroll up. Okay. Okay, now here do okay, no. Now before hold on. The good do ls-l. There you go. You need to know the content. Okay, so do a cat ID and then the second line, second file. Your copy paste. You're missing underscore. Yeah, there it is. Go back, go back, go back. Delete that because you have an extra ID in there after cat. Yeah, there you go. You could do that. Mhm. Now, if you compare it, it's identical.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what we have, and this is how you set up passwordless SSH. Okay, I'm going to take the screen back. Anybody online has any questions?
Yeah, Mrs. Zafar, can you just run through it one more time? You don't necessarily have to do the commands. Can you just step by step
Yeah,
tell us exactly what?
okay, sure. So let me copy this. Okay, so should I, if I explain it here, this is fine, right? So what we need
Yeah.
is we're connecting from one server to another server, right? Each
Hmm.
time we connect, it asks for the password. But now we want to connect to the server without it asking for the password. So what you're gonna do is you run this command SSH keygen. Okay, so you have this host. you have one host here, okay, and you want to connect to another host here without password, okay? So what you're gonna do is only in this direction here. So you type SSH keygen on the source server, and this is our destination server. Okay, so when you type SSH keygen, you come through all this stuff here, and what it does is it creates a combination of keys here. So one is a private key, and other one is a public key. So where it got created? It got created here. So the public key is here. From here, it copies that public key to the destination server. Okay, so for example, if you have another server here, destination, you don't have to run SSH keygen again. When you run SSH keygen, it will tell you the key is already there. Do you still want to create one? If you say yes, it will create a new ID. It will break the existing connection between these two. But if you do SSH copy keygen, you have to copy to all other servers you want to connect the new key. And that key is the one you copied using SSH copy. Okay. So SSH copy, what it does is, so from one server to another server, it is asking you, when you copy this, it is still asking you for the password for the first time from this server. Okay, wait a minute here. You want to copy the ID to me, but go ahead and authenticate here. This is the only time it's going to ask you to generate the password, ask for the password here. Once you provide the password, after that, the keys will take over. The fingerprint keys will take over. Okay, so that happens. After that, since you provided the password, that means you provided the access to the server here. So, okay, so what happened? So from the source to the destination, that key get copied into the public key. This public key gets copied into the authorized keys. Authorized keys in that server here. How come it's able to do it? Because you provided the access. You provided the access by providing the password, right? If you have a password,
Mm-hmm.
you are able to get into the computer. That means you are able to create the key also.
Mm-hmm.
This key didn't exist before you ran SSH key, SSH copy ID.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
now it stays there. So no matter how many times you do that, it is set up there. Now,
Gotcha.
this is only one direction. If you want to do it other direction here, that means on this server you have to run SSH keygen
Mm-hmm.
to go the second route.
Yeah.
So for that, you come back here, you run SSH keygen, and then you from here you type SSH copy ID using the ID back to the
Mm-hmm.
server.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
All right. Let's move on.
Thank you, Mrs. Bar.
All right, no problem. Okay, so I have one technical image here I found online. Okay, so here's the thing here. So it asks for to connect, and then encrypted. Okay, so I don't think this is what I'm trying to say here. Is yeah, I already gave it to you here. Yeah, this is not needed, I think. Yeah. Give me one moment here. Sorry, this is not good. Let me go find online here. So let's go into Google. Okay, client server. Client initiates the connection to the server by sending the request. Okay, so no, this is not correct here. Okay, we'll just stay with what we have. So, any questions here? It's a bit complicated, but it's not super, I mean, you just have to understand how this is gonna work, okay? So, in the assignment, what I'm gonna do is have you guys do, okay, one of these things here, I think, yeah. So here in the diagram, I'm giving you the diagram. So this is the main server you connecting. This is the main server you connecting from outside. And you guys are given 3 servers, 1, 2, 3. So we already did once. So what you should be doing is, you should be doing same thing here. Okay, what I suggest is, um, what I suggest is do this here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once you have done that, then from here do this server 1, 2, okay, and then pick this server 1, 2, and this server 1, 2, and then this server 1, 2, 3. So you maybe end up doing 4 times 4 equal to, you have to run this for 16 times. Okay. So if you are into one server, from one server to another server, you keep going into the loop here. You may not be able to ask for the password. Okay. So let's see how you guys would do it next week. Okay. I'll put this as assignment.
Sir, there must be something else we can do. It's like this is the way if we're gonna do. If you have 1,000 server, you'll get killed, right? There must be another way in which we can get together all together on this, right?
Yeah, there is a Ansible script you could run to do it. But here, most of the time, you'll be working from the main server to all the other servers, not coming back from other servers back to same server again.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so but for you guys to practice here, do this what I'm saying, and once you have established this, you will have a really good understanding how this is working. And once you have good understanding, then you are getting a very good hold of Linux. Okay, so moving along, because later in the course I'll be showing you how to do Ansible as well as a bit of scripting. Okay, so scripting gets really complicated, but the every script is simple, but if you combine more than 1, 2, or 3 script, then it becomes a complicated script. A script inside a script, you could do that. Okay, once you learn the basics of scripting, that is where the basic of programming comes in. All right. So what time is it now? We'll take a break at 9:15. So we'll continue another 20 minutes. So let's see here. Let me clear the screen. And I'm on the main server, right? If I earlier, if I wanted to connect to the server here, SSH root, and I type Red Hat, see how conveniently I'm able to connect to the server as root. Okay, there is something which is not allowed. When you're building the server, by default it is allowed, but it's a security violation because if somebody gets hold of a root password, they could do a serious damage.
They can do a catastrophe.
Yeah, serious damage. So what you do is you go into file etc. Now your VI skills are going to come in. Here, file etc ssh dot ssh underscore. Yeah, go to that server. Go to that specific server. And then on that specific server, let's just take your first server. So go in there and go to this file. vi/etc ssh/sshd underscore config, okay? It's really important if you have typed exactly what it is. And then go down somewhere down the line. Okay, so do the shift colon set number. That way you will have number line number show up there. Okay, I'm looking for the line. Permit. All right, so let's search for the line. Okay, look at line number 43. Go to line number 43. And it says here, permit root login, right? So what we need to do is we need to make it no. So push I as in India and go to the end of the line. And then just make it no, all lowercase. And then escape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this because I have to put in the document. Escape, shift colon X. You save out of it. Okay, so are you guys with me so far?
You hit the number line.
Okay, so let's go back in there. While you're still in command line, make sure you are not in insert mode, okay? Hold on the shift key and then the colon. Down on the bottom, all the way on the bottom of the screen, you see
Yeah.
the colon there.
Yeah.
Then type set space number. Set space number. And then it's easier on your eyes to look for number 43. So go down to 43. It may be different on your computer. On your server, it could be different. Okay, so here it's 43. Is it 43 for you too?
That is so shift the numbers.
Did the number show up? Okay.
For me, it show.
Okay, Uzair, first to escape.
Permit get the numbers.
Yeah. Make sure you're not in insert. Down on the bottom, it shouldn't say insert.
Not in the insert. No, I have the
So do shift colon,
shift colon.
then you see the colon there on the bottom left.
Yes. Yes.
Now type set space number.
Type and enter.
45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45. 45.
But numbers are not there. No, you have to go up.
And let's go to line number 43.
So now I need to edit this.
Yeah,
Okay, no, how?
just push I as in India. And then go to the end of the line, delete yes and make it no.
But won't work my Windows. That's pretty painful. Now I have to save it.
And now to save, escape, Shift:X.
See, first,
Yeah, what escape does it will remove you from insert mode, which is edit mode. It will put you into the command mode. Then do Shift:X.
yeah. Now let me go back and check.
No, no, no. Okay, hold on. To do that, you don't have to go inside the file to do that, okay? So do cat etc sshd, and then remember the grep command. Grep -I, that means ignore the case, and then look for something root, okay? So what it does, it goes through all the line that has root in it. This is just an example here, or you could do like permit. Okay, so it will bring up, and then you have your source here. I mean,
It gives me one line that has root.
yeah, because you put in the exact name.
Yeah.
All right. What if you don't know, if you vaguely remember what you're looking for, if you just type permit and it brings up everything that is permit, and then you see, oh, okay. So it's in there.
Okay.
Guys, practice, go back and practice. You have to practice this here. Practice these commands. These are the top 5 commands. You need to know these ones here, okay? And these are the extra ones you could practice on your own. And okay, yeah, these escape, Q this, and Shift:set number YYDD, and all these things, search and replace. So the more you practice, the better it gets. Okay, now go ahead and when you type exit, you go back to your main server. Now go ahead and try to log in as root. Okay, so what happened here? It did not allow that. Why? Because you have to restart the service actually. So go back into that server, systemctl, this is a new command you guys are using. Systemctl restart sshd. Okay, so what this is happening is if you make any new configuration, right? Either you have to reboot, you have to save, exit, one of those things. Here, the service is already running. So you have to restart the service. That means it will refresh the new configuration. Now, if you exit, and I should bet some money here, if you go down and try to get into as root, and then you type password, you should get access denied or some message should come up. Okay, so it says access denied. That's what we're looking for. Now the direct root access is disabled. Okay, any questions? No questions means we could continue.
Are we running the restart?
Restart what?
Some CTL restart.
Yeah. Do it on the host. Do it on the target host.
So I am at root at test.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and
System CTL restart SSHD.
yeah. And hit enter. If you don't get any errors, that means it worked.
I got the
What you got error?
this command not found.
All right, so you're typing it incorrect.
How do I know that it's
You have a habit of typing one. It's L. How are you guys doing online? Online guys? Okay, so I think Salman is not online.
I am.
So
I'm not feeling well today, so that's why it's quiet.
I'm good on this side, Mr. Zafar.
no, you're not on system, that's what I'm saying. So all right,
Giving an error.
share your screen. Okay. Yeah, so what it says failed because of control. Okay, so in your configuration files, there is an error. So you didn't do it. So clear the screen and type history there. All right, so look on number 79. Okay, so run 79, exclamation 79. You know what? Hold on, don't do that, don't do that. We need to run 80. 80, yeah. So copy that line. But you see cat etc you have to put a extra slash in front of etc. Right click. Yeah, go in front of etc. Go, no, not there. Go before E. No, not there. Yeah. No, but remove, yeah, give space there.
Now,
No, go, yeah, now put slash. There you go. And hit enter. Hit enter. Do -I or bring the line back up again. No. Delete that. Bring the line back up. Okay, go in front of I and push hyphen.
I,
No, not that I. You see grep -I.
oh, hyphen I, you need to type hyphen I. Okay.
Okay, hit enter now. Okay, let's take permit root login. No, okay, good. Now type systemctl space restart sshd. Okay, so copy that generalctl.xc. Yeah, just that part.
Highlight and right click.
And then, yeah, right click and hit enter. So line 145. User unit failed. Failed with the result, main process exited.
Typo to नहीं होता
Yeah, so quick do Q here and Q. Yeah. Let's go into that file here. VI etc
backslash, forward slash. इसके बाद
slash first slash etc no slash ssh slash sshd underscore config. Enter. Do yeah, colon set number.
actually,
Enter. And go down to line 43.
oh, yeah, look at line 37. What is system log facility? No, 37 is there. System log. Yeah, should be no. No, the 43 is no. Yeah, 43 is no, should be. Should be no.
Okay, you were saying you found something?
Uh,
Okay, hold on, let me get into that file.
it's 140, 137, right? Right. What does it put on?
Why do you have, okay, line, you shouldn't be having line 45. Go down to line 145 because you saved it. Type DD there.
Type D,
Yeah. D as in David, D as in David. Yeah. No, just type DD right there. We're deleting that line. Okay, do it one more time. All right, do it. Yeah, that should be fine, I think. Yeah. What you did is you also have, it may not work again, but save and exit here. Shift colon X as in Xerox and hit enter. Then go ahead and restart the service.
what am
Type history. Yeah, we need to run number 91. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Now exit here. All right, now try to come back.
What food?
No, yeah, bring the line back up. There you go, you're already there. So hit enter. Go ahead and try password. Okay, so it's delayed. That means it's gonna deny the permission. There you go.
Yeah.
Permission denied. All right, that's about it. So, okay. We're gonna pause here and let's go ahead and take a 20-minute break, okay? And we'll come back. What time is this?
Sir, before going, I just want to ask you how to save it. It's like the VI editor, we use it, right? At the end, how to save it? Colon X, that's it.
Yeah, so here, now go into VI editor and here says shift colon X, right? It says save and exit the file.
Actually, what I'm doing is like when I push shift colon X, it's type it, but it doesn't show on a VI.
Yeah, you may be stuck somewhere. When we come back from break, we'll take a look, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now, so we have seen SSH and all that, right? So connecting from one server to another server, we see two ways. One, you connect from one server to another server providing password. And the other way is passwordless here, okay? As an admin, you should be able to set that up here. Now, moving along, we are jumping into the big chapter here. It's called user administration, okay? So you will be creating the users and giving them the permissions and everything. And as admin, you will have full access to the system here. So So what I need to do is I need to put this in another box. Okay, I'll fix that later. Okay, now this is the very big topic and very important topic, user administration, right? So for this, go ahead and connect to your first server as ZMPT. So before we begin, so in here, you would have root. So what is root? Root in this, you guys have learned what is root, right? Root is a topmost directory slash, and then now root also means the user. Okay, administrator, and he's a super user. So he has full access. So root user has highest level of access, okay? Root user cannot be renamed. You cannot rename a root user, okay? And never share root password. And don't put password in chats or text messages, okay? It's a security violation. And root user can access access the company data. So if you may or may not be able to see the data, but as a root user, you could see any data, all data you could just have access to. Okay, so it's very important. Don't share anything. So now, what you're gonna do is before that. So you're logged in here, right? You're logged in as a user. What you need to do is hold on. So you're logged into your first server, right? If you type who am I, you are a regular user. You are ZMPT1. So you log in as regular user to the server. Then once you have switch to root user. So how are you gonna do that? Switch to a root user. What you do is you do sudo su hyphen. So what it does is I'll explain you. Sudo su means sudo switch user do. Okay, sudo is switch user do. That's what it means. Switch user do. And su means switch user. And then hyphen means you switch to root. In this case, if you're not specifying a name of a user, that means it's root. You are specifying hyphen, that means you are trying to become root. And now hit enter and provide the password for ZMPT. Remember, guys, you guys don't know the root password, right? How are you going to become a user? It will apparently become clear a little later. But right now, you're part of one of the administrators' pseudo group. That's what is called wheel group. You're part of a wheel group where you become a root. So go ahead and type the password for ZMPT, which is Red Hat. And there it is. If you type who am I, what do you see? You see who am I is root and the user. If you type pwd/root, now there are 3 roots you have to worry about. Slash is a topmost directory, and root is a root user. /root is root user's working directory, home directory. Who is not confused? Everybody's confused, right? Okay, I expect that. So for now, just hang in with there. As the thing's gonna progress, it will become clear. So here, I'm gonna say switch to root user. Actually, I should put it up here. So let's go ahead and exit one time. There is one other way you could switch to user, root user. If you do simply su hyphen, now it's asking for the
Password.
password for who? Yes. Here, it is specified you have to put the password for ZMPT, right? Password for ZMPT. Over here, this is asking for password for root. Since you don't know the password for root, you cannot switch. But since ZMPT is you, which is you are a Linux admin, that means you have access to a group where it's a part of a wheel group. I will explain what this is, but ZMPT is part of this group. That way you are able to become a root user without providing a root password. All right. That should be a little bit more confusing, but you should be okay.
I have a question.
Yeah,
If you came in through sudo and you became root, do you still have the same like everything as if you came in directly with root as the root password? You like have all access?
yep, you have full
Okay.
root access to
It's
that.
it's the same as
Correct.
root. Okay.
So the idea here is to protect the direct root access as well as protect, let's face it, you end up sharing password anyway.
So
Right?
it's like instead of coming through the front door, you came through the side door.
Yeah,
You just
side
came
door.
in the same. You got the same outcome. You just came in through a different direction.
Yeah, you have same privilege.
Gotcha.
Correct. So that safeguards the root access here. If somebody finds out the root access, root password, there will be, if it falls into wrong hands, it's gonna be devastating. So there is a workaround here. All right, so we are good here so far. Moving along. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cancel this. So usually direct access is not allowed, so you don't have a root password. But go ahead and do sudo su hyphen. So when you run this command as a sudo, that means you're invoking your own credentials and hit enter. And then go ahead and provide that password right here. Okay, now you are root.
So for me, it says not in a sudo's file. This incident will be reported.
Yes. Why'd you come in as who? Type who am I? What are you? You type who am I?
Yes, and it says Ahmad.
Okay, so what you have to do is you have to go to the server. Yeah, I don't think I provided you the server. Did I provide you the server, Sayed?
Yes, three of them.
Which one?
No, no, no. The one which is you were to jump into it, right?
Is your name here?
Yep, the last one.
So which server are you in right now?
Right one, I am on the western one, jumping server, not the one, initial one.
Yeah, you skipped what I've been saying. Go to that one first server.
Okay. And,
Are you in?
hang on, hang on. This page. One, four, one, one. Permission denied. Uh,
Share your screen. I want to see what you're doing.
share screen.
No, cancel that and bring the line back up. Type ZMPT at. Okay, good. Now do sudo su minus space. Okay. Go ahead and give the password for ZMPT, which is
Oh, shit. What have done?
no, remove number one in there. Bring the line back up again. Just red hat. No, give a space there. Yeah, give a space, su space in there, hit enter. There you go. It took the password. It already took the password. See? You see, you already a root now.
Oh, okay. Got it.
It took the password on the first time, but if you did minus, su minus was not space enough. There was not
Ah,
enough space there.
got it.
Okay, all right. So let me share my screen.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, now once you are as a root, go ahead and let's go ahead and create a user. Okay, so the command is user add. There is no space. User add is one word. And type terminator. We're creating a user with the name terminator. And hit enter. When you type and hit enter, if there is no error message, that means it worked. Okay, so what happens is there is a file name etc password. Remember, if you go up, etc is a configuration file, right? So everything you're going to be using that etc folder a lot. And one file get updated when you do this. That specific file is etc password. /etc passwd. Passwd. Linux guys will call it password, but it's only passwd. Gets updated.
That file.
Oh, yes. So what you do is you could do cat etc password and hit enter. And these are all the users in there. Bunch of the users are like predefined. But look on the bottom of the file here. In Linux, any new entries is going to go on the bottom of the line. End of the file.
Not opening. /etc/password, full word.
Now, passwd, not the full word password. Passwd. All right, look on the bottom, you see the user you created.
Yeah.
All right, so what happened here is, so let me put this here. So give me one moment here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to dissect this here. First, it says terminator, right? So first item in the line is terminator. This is a user. Okay. And then there is a colon. After that, there is X. And if you give this, when you have X there, that means the system will check for the password. And then 1001. 1001 is a user ID. And there is another 1001 which is a group ID. So every user has a user ID and a group ID, okay? If a user doesn't belong to any group, it belongs to its own group. So when a user is created, it has to belong to a group. So how do I explain this?
We haven't set any password for that user.
Yeah, the password is not there yet. Okay, so before that, I'm explaining this. So in most cases, the initial user ID and group ID is the same. Okay, and if you look closely here, where my cursor is, here, if you go back to here, down on the bottom, over here, over there, like there are two columns right next to each other, right? So if you put like any user text in there, that's where it goes. Like your name, whatever name of that user, it goes in here, okay? And then home/terminator. Can somebody tell me what this is?
Directory for terminator.
That is correct. That's what I was looking for. Home directory for user. In this case, terminator. Okay, and then /bin/bash. That means what kind of shell system he's using. There are a few different kind of shells. We are using bash. They are like cron and some other one. We're not worried about it. That's deprecated. So, but still, you have an option to define that. You barely come across this bin bash. You barely have to change anything to it. Okay. All right. Now, what you do is next is clear the screen, and I do ID terminator. I have some output, and if I do IDE 1001, I get the same output. So if you look at the user ID here, it says UID, right? User ID. UID stands for user ID 1001. Git group ID is 1001. And the groups the user belong to is so far he is only belong to his own group. Okay, we could expand that in a bit here. Now, as a root, you could become a root, and then if you do SU terminator, Earlier we did SU minus, right? SU minus means you are trying to become a root. And if you say SU minus terminator, okay, and hit enter, or what you could do is SU hyphen terminator. Okay, do SU hyphen terminator. And you see you are a terminator now. Only root user is able to take the identity of any other user without password. We didn't even set the password here. Did you notice? The root user became the terminator without even prompting for a password. Okay, so now if you type exit, you go back to become root. What happens if you type exit again? What do you become? No, once you are root, you come back, right?
Yeah.
What do you become? Exit if you type exit?
My
Yes, you become ZMPT again. So it's going back. So you came into the server as ZMPT, then you became root, then you became terminator, right? So when you type exit, you become root, and then when you type exit, you become ZMPT. When you type exit, then you go back to the main host. You get back to the first host you came in from. So stay as root, and we're gonna set the password for terminator. Okay, so the command to set a password for a user is PASSWD space the username, in this case terminator, and then hit enter. So here is asking for the password here. So keep it simple. Just give it like Red Hat. In reality, at work, the password will be like complex. It will be a combination of alphanumeric numbers with some special characters, okay?
should be as per company.
Yeah. And generally, company policy requires you to like have at least 12 characters in there. And it changes like every 30 days or so, 90 days or so, whatever.
अभी अभी उस्मान ने लगाई.
Yeah, Salman, can you go on mute?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so, but here's the thing. If you're setting a password as a root user, there is no policy. The policy doesn't apply. If you're setting a password for your friend and you are a root user, you could set an easy password. So what happens is, let's take a look at which file gets updated. So which file gets updated? The file, the name of the file is shadow file. If you do cat etc shadow SHADOW and hit enter. Down on the bottom of the line, you see a big number here. So what you might want to do is usually this screws up my well, hold on. So the file etc shadow file gets updated for password.
Awesome. Walgreens. Call from Walgreens. Call from Walgreens. Call from Walgreens.
Is not mic.
Call from Walgreens.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna have to explain this, what this is happening. So in here, the first one is Terminator, is a user. In the password file, it's a user, right? Terminator is a user. And if you see this long number between two colons, that is a alphanumeric hash for a password. It's scrambled in a alphanumeric long digit, but the system reads your password in it. You put in the simple password, but it scrambles it to this alphanumeric number, okay? And this is the password. So if you have another system here and you want, if somebody comes up to you, say there is a Terminator 2 on another system, can you copy the password from this following system and keep the same password to the Terminator 2? That way, there are two safety things happening. You as an administrator don't know the password, and the application guy who is requesting that password, he knows that password.
So I have a password, right? And I'm requesting my administrator that copy the same password from this server to that server.
Yep. So you come here and you copy this. This is not a password, but this is a scrambled password. But it will copy the same exact, keep it the same exact password.
Password.
Yeah, you did it. It's a password key. So I'm not gonna put the whole thing here. I'm gonna just put a little bit. because it screws up my thing here. It's called password hash. Okay, and then now the number is 299. For some reason, Linux does this. 299 is, so where I think earlier I said Linux operating system was released on December 31st, 1969, right? So if you go here and you type 299 days ago, it should be okay. So I think it's calculating the Greenwich time. Greenwich time is already a day ahead, right? So 299 days ago is uh, for us 298 days because we are like 8 hours behind Greenwich time. So
For
98.
Thanksgiving Thursday, January 1st.
Thursday, January 1st, 1970.
Yeah.
That is when the Unix operating system was released. So that thing is hard. That thing is hard coded in there, and it is a very important thing. It will. That's how it manages the future time.
That's its starting point.
Yeah, but it keeps track like that. Okay, so this zero here, it has a zero here, right? That's a grace period before the password expired. Later on, we will worry about how this thing is working, grace period and stuff, how the password is doing. And the next one is you got like a big number here. Okay, so usually this system is not configured and hardened, right? So that's why you don't see, usually it should be 60 days. There should be 60 days for expiry date of your password here. And then the last one is warning. Warning is usually set to 7 days. And the other ones are not used, and I don't even know what they are for. Okay, for now, we're good. Okay, now, all right, we came along so much. Okay, so clear. If I do ID terminator, so we looked at the ID is in the password file, and we looked at the password here. What about the group? Group ID. So the group of the user gets updated into etc group. And these are all the other system build group. And the new entry is added on the bottom of the line. So you see Terminator, and he's a part of this group here, okay? So where is all the settings defined for the user settings definition? For user group and password. Okay, so that file is that file is VIETC login dot def. VIETC login dot def. Don't do vi, do cat. DEFS. Okay. So in here, there are a lot of definitions here, right?
Login dot.
Yeah, I'll put it here. Cat etc slash login dot def, DEFS. That's been definitions. So I think these are the important lines here. So you just have to manipulate these lines here, okay? Based on your company. So here is says maximum days password is 999. That means the password never expires. You guys stuck somewhere?
Cannot get to the root.
You cannot get to root.
I restarted my session. The password to the room was get
How do you know the password for root?
he is in his home directory to the yes. If I'm going to
Which server is on?
167.
The main server? Or your first server?
No, first server.
Your first server, right?
That is 167. 10.1. Oh, okay. You need to add SSH, VMPT, those servers. Okay. And you cannot get into boot. That's it.
So your first server is 167.
Server name is like put VMPT add your server and then ready. Then the 10.1.10. VMPT add and 167. GMP. Yeah, then SSH root. SSH space hyphen.
Still struggling?
Yeah.
Share screen. Okay, before that, yeah, you're in a correct place, right? So delete that. Do SU Sudo su, yeah, sudo su space minus, yeah. And then give the password for ZMPT. There you go. Your root now. All right, so let me share my screen again. So what we could do is we could go in here. Let's go into VIETC login defs. VIETC. Make sure you're putting it correctly. VI/ETC/login DEF. DEFS. And scroll down and look where it says maximum days. Yeah, we can't keep that. So go and make it 60. And password minimum days, leave it alone. Leave it alone. And UID minimum. So this is where the UID is starting from. Remember, our UID was 1001. This is the starting range. Let's make it 3. So going forward, the new UID will be starting from 3000 series. And then leave those other lines alone and then do this here. Group ID minimum, keep it like 4000 and the 60,000. Okay, maximum UIDs is like you could create up to 60,000 users and groups in one system. I mean, there is just a default. You could change that too. I think you could change it to 2 to the power of 8, whatever that number will come out. You could have that many users. But if I usually see no more than like a couple, oh, you know what, on the server, whoever is in the team, if you have a team of 40 users, and then a few application IDs. Usually it stays under like 8 to 10 users average. Unless you have a big corporation which has a lot of admins, then it will be different.
So question.
Yeah.
UID minimum is your 3000, right? But it's like on my side, it's showing 1000.
Yeah, change it
Maximum is
to
the
3000.
same with the GID minimum 1000, you're at 4000. So why
No,
is the
I
difference?
just changed it. Go ahead and make a change.
Okay.
So the minimum it says is there is the series is gonna start. Next time we're gonna create the user, it's gonna start from the user ID will be 3000 and group ID will be 4000. Then if we create another user, it will be group ID will be 3001 and I'm sorry, user ID will be 3001 and group ID would be 4001. Go ahead and escape and save and exit, okay? For this, I don't think we have to start any service. Okay, let's see if there is the change is gonna work, okay? Let me clear the screen. Let's do user add X-Men. And if we do ID X-Men, there it is. Did you notice? The ID is starting from 3000 series and group ID is 4000 series. Why? Because we made the changes in there. And if we do cat etc shadow and grep for X-Men. Okay, now you see he's only, oh, by the way, you don't see long characters here because the password is not set yet. If the password for X-Men would have been set, it would have been a long alphanumeric digit, but it's not set here. So we are fine. And you see, we were interested in this here. We cannot have a user password never expire. That goes against the company policy. What if the user is not there and somebody is using that password and then now he's being forced to change the password and stuff like that? So there is one of level of security feature. It expires in 7 days. And in this case, it did work. The changes work. So now what we're gonna do is let's create this comes up quite often. Create a user manually. So how are we gonna create the user manually? VI etc password file. You're going into a password file, be careful. And go to Shift G and go ahead and copy the last line. If you are on a last line, just change the name, just do YY. Don't go into insert mode. Just do YY and push P as in puppy. So it copies the same exact line underneath it. You're not? So where are you now? Are you on a black screen?
No, I get out and now I'm running that command again. VIETO. I know what's wrong.
Yeah, sorry guys, the password, you gotta be careful. I'm saying password, but it's not the full word password. It's PASSWD. You got it?
Got it, then Shift G.
Yeah, Shift G to go at the bottom of the line. And do you have X-Men there?
Yes.
Okay, and your cursor is already there, so do YY and then do P as in puppy once. It copied the line, right? Okay, now push I as in India, and then let's make X-Men Superman. No, not Superman, Spider-Man. I don't like Superman. Make it Spider-Man, and then ID. Now I could pick and choose the ID I want. I want to give ID 3003, and I want to give group ID 4003. And the home directory, make sure you change it to Spider-Man. And keep the things bin bash same. Okay?
Yeah.
Do the escape key, Shift:X.
Yeah.
Okay, so that part is there. Now we have to create the group here. If you do ID Spider-Man, no, don't do that yet. Go to VI ETC group, GROUP, and Shift G, go all the way in the bottom. Then do YYP and change the name Spider-Man. And now this time, other place you gave the group 4003, so give the group 4003. Save and exit that also. Let's do ID Spider-Man. Is showing up now. So what you want to do is, let's set up a password for Spider-Man. Not with the password command, we are doing it manually. VIETC shadow. Shift G. And here, copy the Terminator. Bring a line where it says Terminator. Do YY, then go down all the way down to the bottom of the file and do P. So you should paste a Terminator below X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's keep everything same. Okay, now this is the moment. Since we didn't set the password here, we are doing it manually. This is gonna be the same password as Terminator for Spider-Man. Make sure the spelling is correct, okay? It all matters. Okay, I think X is not taking it because it's a sensitive file.
Read only.
Yeah. This time do WQ exclamation. All lowercase. This time around it saves it. You could also do cat etc shadow. Cat etc shadow Spider-Man. What, you get stuck?
You haven't seen the message.
Huh?
You haven't seen the message. Check the message. The chat bottom.
Oh. Chat bottom.
The chat icon, right? WhatsApp message.
Oh. On the WhatsApp message.
Not this one, yeah.
Oh.
That one.
Zoom message.
Chat. You can go to chat.
Yeah. I'll get with him. Okay, so Spider-Man is ready now. Now what we're gonna do is leave this screen alone and open a duplicate screen. No, hold on, we're not done yet. We now go back to the same screen where you are as root. So what you have to do is you have to create a directory for Spider-Man. Look up here, you should still have that Spider-Man directory there, right? mkdir hyphen p as in puppy /home/Spider-Man. And hit enter and do ls hyphen ld command. Okay, so this is going to be a bit permission thing here. I haven't explained you guys here, but just do it for now. Okay, permission is a big topic, which will, after this, we'll touch that.
I didn't get that. /home/spider.
Did you do mkdir hyphen p
Yep.
/home/Spider-Man? And you didn't get any error?
I didn't get any error, but in the end, instead of /home/Spider-Man in blue, I got a blue dot, which implies that it's a hidden directory I can do.
So do ls hyphen ld, ls space hyphen ld, and then /home/Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's working?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you notice here, it says root here, right?
Yeah.
But if you notice here, terminator, it is over here, it says terminator. So we have to change that. So what we're gonna do is CHOWN, and then, yeah. Either you could use the name or you could use the ID. So I'm gonna use the ID here. So first is a group, first is a user, and second is a group. So who's the user for Spider-Man? Is Spider-Man, but the ID is 3003, and the group ID is different. Yeah, and then /home/Spider-Man. And now if you do ls-ld, there you go. All right, this looks good to me.
Yeah. Spider-Man is fine. Okay.
So guys, go ahead and click on there and then do duplicate session. And here login as normal because you're logging in the main server, you're coming from the outside. Now to your first server, type SSH Spider-Man at the IP address of your first server. So my first server is 10.1.10.123. I hit enter and it's asking for the password for Spider-Man. I set it very simple password. So let me provide that password. There you go. I am logged in as a Spider-Man, which was manually created. And his root directory is what it's supposed to be. Any questions, guys? I'm gonna make this public very soon. Please practice this, and there is no turning point here. If you don't practice, don't keep up, it's gonna be really, really hard. And whoever haven't submitted the assessment, just send it this week. And any questions you have, put it in the chat.
Sir, I done as SSH Spider-Man 10.1.10.029, which